Because we know we have boundaries, we know who we are, we know the beliefs, we know all of the things, but yet the discrepancy is we have this new identity. How we confuse of being present with being realistic. How we confuse of being in a moment with focusing on the reality. How we stay focused like those are the facts, this is where I'm at, replace that with how do I feel. The reality might not be even as important as we think it is. And we did so much work to move away from the past and to not keep tapping into that energy anymore. It's like, oh, that's way gone. Beliefs are way updated, shifted, change, all of that. We still have this habit of justifying and explaining about where we at. And in my coaching space, I want to hold a intention, a space for focusing on where we are going. We understand manifestation, we accept that we create our reality. It's like, okay, this is where I'm at, good, bad, doesn't matter. How do we change this reality? Because the biggest pull and push, tug of war, what's happening is not even with the people, it's between us. Because we know we have boundaries, we know who we are, we know the beliefs, we know all of the things, but yet the discrepancy is we have this new identity and we forgot to upgrade our own boundaries. We think just because it worked up until today, we show up and we share with another person, say, oh, my boundaries are very clear. Yeah, but today you're not the same person that you were a month ago, and you need to look at them. You needed to upgrade there so they match who you are today. Because the expansion is, I believe, and doesn't have to be everyone's belief, doesn't have to be yours either, but expansion is continuous. As transformation is continuous, expansion is continuous. When you were ready to hear what you already knew, because I didn't tell you something that you never heard before, you open to receive that, you are open to it, the universe of course send you the opportunity. Let's work with this new insight. Would you clean up your energy now? How would you let go of that belief now? How would you upgrade that belief now? How the boundary that you already had in place and was strong as was good and it's great, you will revoice it now. So then the process is leaving the space to integrate what just happened. I love this very, very much because when I'm asking about a radical move and people are thinking I need to change the whole motherfucking world overnight, that's not what it is. Need tiny little upgrade that is gonna create a massive change in time. As fast as deep as I will integrate organically. I don't need to have everything figured out by the next week, by the next session. Like, no, this one little door that open, you're gonna walk through for the rest of your life. And the power of what change in your circumstances is that nothing changed. The reality is that nothing changed. Your house looked the same, your mom behaves the same, your sister behaves the same, your kids behave the same, your clients are your clients. Nothing changed in their lives, in their behavior, in how, including the physical things or sitting in your, like, nothing changed in your circumstance. The only thing that changed with that insight, it's you. The only thing that starts changing is how you see things. The only things that start changing is you start making a little shift in your behavior, how you communicate, what do you see, and all that. So the power in that is you are in the place where you are no longer using other people or circumstances to justify your own personal being. how you feel and your results, is to recognize that you could be into a coaching session, you could have an insight, you could have a shift that is just have you for days like what the but your life did not change. It's the same, it's just you feel different. So now the work is to keep walking on that room that we open the door. And every time that you find yourself explaining or justifying why things happen, how the other person behaves, is to say, hey, is this a circumstance? Is this reality the same like the one yesterday? What's the only thing that had changed? My perspective. And then allow the space and the freedom to the other person to be on their own path. So I won't appear like a total bitch that I tell them that this is how they need to behave, this is how that's possible for them. It's like they can't hear me. I've been in this space for an hour and a half. I have a new view, and I'm coming here, and it's just I'm expecting them to get me. But nothing changed in their life. Now that is bad because even with that, it's triggered them a little bit, like what happened. So it's opening a door for them as well. Oh, she has a new perspective on this. I know her for 30 plus years, your mom might be saying, and now she's telling me this. And I know she told me this over and over again for years, but the question is, does she hear you differently or not? Because you might say it differently because the change is in you, but that doesn't mean that they receive it differently. All that had happened is you redefining your personal boundaries and all there to say without the expectation of people understanding or following or whatever. How do you choose happy and joy and pleasure in circumstances that are triggering and repetitive? So it's boundaries, 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 and cleaning up the energy so you could move forward. We could always reach for a more neutral emotion and move in the other direction, right? And not even to avoid anger or whatever, but it's just like it's not necessary.